enjoy this powerful conversation I had with Darin, the host of the podcast Super Life. There's all this stuff externally that we could look at and be like, I can't believe this is happening, and I can't believe the atrocities. And I'm like, we're at war inside ourselves daily of the words we're speaking to ourselves, to where we don't feel like we're enough just because we exist and we have to do something or prove it. Are my cells fighting with each other? Am I saying mean things to myself?
All of the organs have their own frequency, all of the individual cells, all the bacteria. The mitochondria comes from, it's basically a bacteria inside of the cell that is wildly converting the energy that was you ate something, you're not receiving the energy from the food you ate necessarily. You're receiving the chemistry and the consumption of the benefits of the bacteria.
There's different forms of healing all over the world that are outside of this Western medicine world. And I'm not taking away from it. And we always feel like we have to quantify that. But there is some profound healing that has nothing to do with the things we've been taught. And I really love that. And I want to get that out. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now.
So great to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and having a little session. I had my experience being interviewed by you, and of course learned a little bit about you. Your superfood cacao. We had a little cacao moment of...
We gotta have more cacao moments. I love a good cacao moment and other things we could add to it.
And that success of that company, which is so great because of also someone who loves the bridge between botanicals and betterment of people, and to hold that as opposed to just a product. That's what I sensed with your company too. And so it's always a great celebration of that. And then all of the stuff that, the coaching that you're doing, the healing, the groups that you're doing, and the workshops and the DJing and all of this, you're just kicking some ass. And
well, thank you. I'm just trying to do what lights me up. Yeah. What's fun for me and what I feel called to.
And because I know I have my themes that kind of run through, as much as people look at my life and go, how do you
manage all of it?
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, in my own schizophrenic brain, right, in my heart, I know there's a through line to it all. So it's
absolutely.
And it seems like there's a through line to you too. Yeah. So what is that fuel for you?
Before I say about my fuel, I think that through line, if I feel into it, because I've asked myself this question a lot. I don't know if you have too. It's like sometimes I'm like, where is this driving coming from? Like really looking at it, because I don't have to do it. I don't have to drive. There was a season in my life when I did, or I thought I did, to put food on the table, but it's not that case anymore. And I just look at it a lot. And I think it's this insatiable desire for myself first and foremost. So I feel like I'm doing it. And then if whoever wants to come on along the ride, I'm like, come with me, because I think that's part of my essence. But I really want to remember. It's like I'm seeking to remember through different cultures, through indigenous ways, through the land. And there's just so much this world offers, and it's about remembering. It's about remembering who I am, healing powers within me, healing powers within the plants, just sounds. And it's all, I think, drives home to this power we have within ourselves to heal and to work with Mother Earth in that capability. And I'm just intrigued by it.
Yeah, and it sounds not only remember, but experience.
Yeah.
Because it's just so full.
Yeah, it's
potential.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
To unlock different wisdom and knowledge and curiosities and
We can get so caught into pursuing and goals and things like that. And it's, I don't know if you find this, but it's constant, like I'm focused on something, but at the same time, I have to pop back and constantly have as within, so without, as above, so below. I'm constantly reminding myself of that and making sure that I'm still connected to at least the deepest sense of myself as I do anything. And you seem like you have a good balance between micro stuff, like getting stuff done, and having this kind of wicked sense of this infinite and remembering and knowledge. And how does that fit? How did you fit that together?
Yeah, I don't know. I think some people would, I'm not really into this, but I hear a lot of people say that they're like, you're a manifesting generator. So that maybe that helps me bridge. It's like I can do things, but I also like to vision and like to think about things. But on a very fundamental level, I have no problem delegating. It's been a strength of mine. And so I have an amazing team that does, when people come to me about business, like in particularly women, and they're like trying to do it all, like they're doing all the back end and the front end and content creation. I'm like, and they're exhausted and they're worn out, rightfully so. And I'm like, I've delegated so much of the stuff I don't want to do that really actually takes the business to another level so that I can be in my relaxation, in my spiritual time, in my nature time. And it looks like I'm doing a lot of things because I am, but I have a lot of hands helping. Yeah.
Was there a point where you like also was that person thinking you need to do it all? And
Never. I always had a vision. Like I'm a very vision person. And I always was like, I need to find somebody who's really good at marketing. I need to find people who can take this to the next level. And from day one, I've done that. And I've given percentages of my companies to those people because I'm like, it should be yours as much as mine, even though my vision and I came to you because then you're going to help me get there.
And that's because I've wrestled with this too, like in the sense like pay them really well and or give them percentages. It just depends on whatever business, wherever that business is, whatever it can handle. Do you out of the gate set that up, or do they prove themselves and then there's some kind of breadcrumbs along the way?
Out of the gate, I didn't. I just was like, this percentage yours, this percentage mine, let's run. And I got lucky. Then other people along the way, I've been more like, hey, let's try this for 90 days. These are some benchmarks. If you hit them and we both feel like this is a fit, great. Then we can take it to the next level. I've been now operating more like that. It's like, and you can get a percentage over a year if we still, because I want you to love it as much as I love it, that kind of stuff. So I proceed more that way now.
And that's something that kind of get to know the DNA of the person.
Yeah, because I'm learning. The more people that have come on the team, I'm like, Kyle, you seemed great on paper, but we're not driving. We have a different idea of what's working or what work ethic is or whatever.
It's so interesting because in all relationships, I see myself do this still. So you meet someone and then they say all the right things or they're on paper and then and it could be romantic relationships, whatever. And then we project the story on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, and then you start wrestling with, they're not fitting my vision of what I think. And so you're also missing out on, maybe it doesn't work for what you need, but you're also missing out on who they actually are.
Potentially. I think maybe too, it's like you have like I do project probably every time too. Like I think I'm going, okay, this is where I want to go. Like I always am like, okay, this is the island for my analogy. We're getting into a boat. We're getting to the island. I might have you take some detours every now and again, but we're still getting to the island. Right. I don't care how we get to the island. I just care that we get there by this day. And ultimately, if people are not the right fit in my life, friendships too, I'm okay with it because I'm like, well, you have your path, I have mine, and I'm going where I'm going, and either you fit and it's alignment or it's not.
Yeah, it's an interesting, and then it's...
But it's where we get in trouble is in all the stories.
Oh, man.
Why didn't you do it that way? Or why do you think that way? Or why? It's like, that's where I get hung up if I do that.
Yeah, and it's like, when you're clear on a vision too, it's like, you're like, no, we're hell bent on getting there.
Yeah. I'm like, and you're just not getting me there. So it's fine. Bye.
Like, see you later. Oh my God. I tell you what, man, I have made some poor decisions with people.
I have too. But I just learn quite quick now. And I'm like,
quicker turnover.
Yeah, you just learn.
With less financial ruin.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I'm dealing with one right now. I believed this person, they're a spiritually based relationship, like person. And then they used all this spiritual mumbo jumbo. And I thought, I've known this person on and off. I don't really know them, but I've known of them for 20 years. And I gave them a bunch of money and for a project that was based in a higher expression, like incredible story. I still don't even know if it's actually true.
Interesting.
And so the foundation of what they said, I've been holding, like, no, why would you lie to me?
Oh my gosh, you and I are the same.
Oh my God.
Because I don't understand why people would lie. I don't
Still
actually,
don't.
I really am like, I don't care who you are, just be honest about it. But I have to say, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this because you just said something that I'm like really learning. And I'm very curious about the spiritual space. Like so I'm saying this with caution, but at the same time, I feel like I'm learning that someone who wants to use a lot of spiritual terminology or use that as an anchor. Yes, I'm like going, that feels more like a red flag now. And I wish I wasn't like that, but at the same time, that's what I'm noticing.
Oh my God, this is a big discussion.
I know. I'm like really learning this right now.
There's so much nuance, even within toxicity within people and men. I've seen it a lot, like taking advantage of people and they're using all of the words. And now I see the predatory aspect of all this stuff. And then also the spiritual, we're doing this big project, blah, blah, blah. And this is for the highest good, all this stuff. And I've become more of a realist. It's very grounded stuff. It's not about the words necessarily.
Exactly.
It's listening to what's underneath. It's listening to not the words.
Yeah, like when I keep hearing, I actually was talking about this yesterday. I keep hearing this word like consciousness. Oh. And I'm like, and when we sit in a group and we're like, oh, we're so conscious and we're having these discussions and we're doing this, part of my whole body is like not jiving with it. I'm like, whoa, who do we think we are to think we're conscious? But it's almost said in a way that no one else is or someone else isn't. And we're like, and I'm like starting to go, this doesn't feel good anymore.
Judgment.
Yeah.
Weird superiority thing.
And then I'm like, dude, we're all struggling if we think we're all better because of the way we think.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a I've been in and out of
slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. And like you, I've explored this part of myself for a long time, since certain awakenings in my 20s and continued. And more, I will not go to gatherings or cacao ceremonies or like the next ayahuasca things. And it's like, it's got the words, but it's so watered down. And I don't even mean this to be judgmental of it, because you got to be, it's tricky even saying all this because it's a overarching theme.
Totally.
But I've just seen too much.
I know, and it's unfortunate because it can be such a beautiful thing. Some of my deepest learnings have been in cacao ceremonies or ayahuasca. Yeah. And it's like, it's gotten, like you said, everyone's doing it. And then some of it is a little bit more tainted, at least for my alignment. And I get it. Yeah. But you're in more of the mecca of it. I'm not in the Mecca. I don't get invited to anything. Oh, you're not? My
Mecca is under my 300-year-old oak tree by myself with my dog. Like,
but you're still in range to get invited.
I don't go. I literally
exactly.
Don't
you
go.
have to say no. No one invites me because they're like, she's not going to fly to this.
You just create your own, though, and you create your own space.
Yeah.
And that's the powerful thing that you're able to do. It's like,
you sound like you're doing it too, you and your dogs.
Yeah. It's like, anyone want to come? This is what we're doing. We're bare feet. We're on the ground. Sometimes we get muddy.
Yeah, you might be changing a tire before we do a cacao ceremony, but this is how it is.
Yeah. Cacao ceremonies maybe doesn't have the bindi on your third eye, or it doesn't have all the feathers, but it's a ceremony.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. So there's so many different things that I admire about you, but you're also now focused on what I see is a lot of the frequency stuff, a lot of the indigenous stuff, a lot of the how do we take sound and healing, and like tell me about like your current focus in a little more, because I love this space.
You do?
I love this space.
I always wonder what people think when I share this stuff.
This is a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole for me, and I think that's what's been fun. So the part that people don't see is me in the studio with these two guys that probably no one would really know, but they're going down the rabbit hole with me, and we're taking and researching, because it's not like it's like I found it. I feel like it's ancient information of these certain frequency tones, and it's not like a tone that's like a crystal bowl tone that people think, oh, that, and those all have their own healing, but these are like very ancient sounds, and testing them. And they've been tested. We're finding that there's been people that have been testing this and testing it on organs, like the healing of organs,
bacteria, cancers.
Yes. And it fascinates me. So we're testing these sounds and then trying to infuse them in a beat or a song that you would want to move your body to, because I believe the body's the antenna. I've always been fascinated with the body. That's where I all started, and everything was the body. Even if we talk about spirituality, I think a lot of the books I read was all out here and trying to get here. But I'm like, what if we just try to understand that we live here? So get in here and see if we can amplify from there. So that's what I'm doing. Like I'm listening to sound frequencies. We're like putting them with other songs. We're testing them. We're turning them into different scientists. That's been what I've been doing.
Wow.
And it's fun for me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This goes all the way 30 years ago when I was a researcher, Dr. Mohsen Hermanish, that's some obscure house in Santa Cruz, California, I got invited to, and it was Randy Masters, who was a orchestra teacher, music teacher at a university up there. And we were in this room. Number one, Patrick Flanagan, who's dealing with frequency technology with dolphins, was in the room.
Ooh, so good.
And then Randy was up there. And then this other guy from the space program, which is a whole nother conversation. And Randy was up there doing the calculations on frequencies, 428 or 424, whatever it was, 528, 417, all of these things.
720, there's lots of these.
So these guys are, and then Royal Rife, back in the day, Dr. Royal Rife.
That's who I've been studying a lot of.
Yeah, so
all this.
Oh yeah, he was the pioneer of that. So,
yes.
So cut to, now I'm learning some of this stuff, and then I got hit. I came back from India. I was in India for 6 weeks, and came back with just a gnarly, mature Indian parasite, and I couldn't get rid of it. I was bloated. I was losing weight. So I got a hold of a Rife machine.
You did?
Yeah, an old one. So I had these frequency things surrounding my bed, and I was plugging in. I was found all of these micro frequencies, and I just manually started plugging them in, all of the ones I could find, and just blasting myself. It was the only thing that got me.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. This was 2003.
Brooke always said that you and I are similar, but I'm like, whoa. I should be like interviewing you on this stuff, because that's crazy. You did on your own body with Rife technology.
Yeah. But,
wow.
So I don't talk about it much, because there's not a space, and there's not really a grounded space to talk about it, because this stuff is cut to now. This is such a conversation, because cut to now, some of the clean energy technologies coming from who I've interviewed twice on, my partner in this company. He's literally flying to Japan today to deliver a frequency generator of clean energy tech to Fukushima in Japan, and all these people. And he, in the 90s, he learned frequency and magnetic resonation and sympathetic resonation to melt rock off of gold and diamond in the mines in the middle of Africa.
Wow.
So now he's in my life doing all of this other big scale stuff. So frequency has always been
your awareness.
Yeah. Fascinating, powerful. And I literally got delivered an amp coil yesterday from an inventor who also did this Evox machine, which is a galvanic, very, very sensitive galvanic response that you can hook up to your computer, and a practitioner can see what truth is going on in your body and eliminate all kinds of patterns. It's
Interesting.
So this stuff runs in my life all the time.
Wow.
I'm not an expert in it. I
might have to have a lot more conversations with you about this.
But this is it. I mean, like what Anthony, the professor, I forget what university, Anthony Holland, he was doing 10 years ago. They were doing resonation with cancer cells and absolutely blowing them apart.
I just feel like there's all this wisdom, like you're saying, and we're not like I don't know why it's not mainstream.
That's the thing. If you look at the knowledge, the overall knowledge, mainstream literally is like the equivalent of pushing a cart with a square
100%.
like wheel, right? It's like, why are you doing that? There is so much amazing Tesla and the Rife technology and all of the advancements in this healing modalities. This same guy told me voice recognition from your frequency is being able to diagnose almost every aspect of the body and then send frequency back to mitigate those harmonics that are not in coherence to health. Like, this is happening.
It is happening. I think we're on a new wave right now, which is exciting.
Yeah, it's like the resurgence of this old technology in the early 1900s where we had tons of solutions.
Yeah.
Like that wave of just these inventors. And then, of course, it got suppressed.
Pushed down.
So how did, for you, what clicked for you to get involved with the frequency stuff?
It's a good question, because I'm listening to you and I'm like, wow, he just got connected with people, and it's been in his life and it hasn't been in mine. At least
you didn't know about it.
I didn't know about it. No one was talking about it, but I'm very much a big meditator and I love to spend a lot of time in nature. And for years I would in my meditations and nature time, I would be seeing people being healed with frequencies. So then I was like, oh, that's weird. I feel kind of like I'm weird. And it's like you start to go, what is this? What is this? Because for me, if spirit shows me this, I'm going to really look into it. And so that's where it's led me. But it wasn't because anyone talked to me about it. Obviously, I've heard the wave of the future is in the frequencies, and I've heard those things. But it really was in meditation that it's been showing me the way I want to help people. And it was showing me through this music and people moving and coming together with intention. And I was like, what is this? And then just over years, it's just I would say just get more confidence, because I'm like, who am I? I don't know anything about music to do this. That's been my story. And who am I not to now? I don't know. Nutrition's always been the easy thing, or fitness has always been the easy thing, and what I've been labeled as. But I'm like, this is what really lights me up right now.
Literally and figuratively, potentially, right?
Yeah.
Lights you up. Yeah, because it's like, if you think about even what Royal Rife was talking about, he's saying what we all know to be true, that all things vibrate. All things, even inanimate objects, have frequency. So if that's true, and one can make the argument that we are crystalline being.
Absolutely.
So we have this saline and these electrolytes and this kind of this quantum ooze that connects us all, but yet we still talk about it from a chemical perspective, from a biological perspective, and we're missing almost the harmonic that keeps it all together, the invisible that makes it all sing.
Right.
Together.
And I wonder if it's because we've lost ceremony, because I would say our ancestors were talking in that way. Yeah. And our ancestors were using this and understanding this in some way. I know in my lineage of ancestry, I've even been trying to study that. I feel like we've just lost our way in ceremony. So therefore we're not really listening and when I say ceremony, it's not like you have to do the specific thing, like you say, put the thing here, but it's like having time to be in ritual and be in ceremony of what's present.
Yeah. Yeah. Even stopping a second before you eat.
Exactly.
Just the freaking pause. I too get myself going, I'm hungry. And just
enjoy this process.
It's so easy to blow past, because again, all of the organs have their own frequency, all of the individual cells, all the bacteria, the mitochondria comes from, it's basically a bacteria inside of the cell that is wildly converting the energy that was you ate something, you're not receiving the energy from the food you ate necessarily. You're receiving the chemistry and the consumption of the benefits of the bacteria.
Yeah.
And then that's feeding the cells and so on and so forth. So how wouldn't we be this symphony of harmonic?
Absolutely.
So what have you been doing lately that's been blowing your mind in terms of frequencies?
Well, frequencies are blowing my mind, but also just the ability to heal and clear out using, it's interesting you brought up crystal and body. I'm fascinated with that. I'm fascinated with the crystals on the planet and our relation with them as crystal and bodies. I'm watching and witnessing really profound types of healings, and it's fascinating and it's exciting, and people are living better lives at what I'm witnessing, and it's really been beautiful. And there's different forms of healing all over the world that are outside of this Western medicine world. And I'm not taking away from it. And we always feel like we have to quantify that, but there is some profound healing that has nothing to do with the things we've been taught. And I really love that. And I want to get that out. I want people to understand there's different forms of healing.
Yeah. It's like, I think of Western medicine as a car mechanic. It's archaically good at its job. You break something and you want them to fix it, and they're going to fix it. Well, here, a buddy of mine had his knee replaced and he sent me all the pictures, which I find fascinating. But it's literally, you're just seeing this doctor like hammer a knee in. It's like it's car mechanics. But then in terms of like healing,
like I'm talking about organs, like that's different.
It's a completely different world and resonation, and I don't know what it's going to take.
I just think there's some people are going to choose it and some people won't, and that's all. And you just don't worry about anybody like who's not choosing it, but I'm just going to continue to go down the path that lights me up. And if anybody's on for the ride, great. And if you're not, no worries.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Some will, some won't, some don't.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change the world necessarily. Right. Yeah.
It's like the people that will literally resonate, they will understand and come together, and this utopian idea of the whole world coming under one idea is not going to happen. No. It's not. It's not. No.
It's not, and it's not our job to.
It's almost impossible.
It's almost egoic to say, "Oh, I'm, just a small group to change the whole world." I just think you live your path. You live in alignment with whatever's resonating for you, and don't get so high that everybody has to see it the way you see it.
Yeah. What concerns you the most right now? You could answer big or small in the world. What you in your groups? What do you see in women?
Yeah, I don't know if it's concern's an interesting word, because that would insinuate that I'm thinking about it and worrying about it, and I try not to worry.
What awareness are you having?
Recently, I've always been like interested in, not interested, but like perplexed. We were talking about how people could lie. Like I get perplexed by those things. And I also get really, I feel like a child that's trying to figure out why someone would do that. Like I really am. Like I used to lie when I was little, but as you get older, you think you would learn. And it's okay, you can just not lie. But the other thing is how you could hurt a child. That's very perplexing to me, and sexually. And so I feel like I'm fascinated by this idea that 1 or 2 and 3 or 4 of people have had sexual abuse happen to them as a child.
Yeah.
That's really perplexing to me. And most women that are coming to me are healing from those types of things. And it's changed the trajectory of their lives, the way that they relate the way they show up in their dreams or the things in their heart, the body and the illnesses that they take on, their posturing, everything. And I'm like, wow, it seems like such an outside thing of saving these children. We hear about all the sex trafficking, but I'm like, it's like happening with our groups, our friends, and it's
silently, right?
Yeah. And that would be my thing that makes me sad a little bit when I face it. But at the same time, I'm also my higher self. It's part of this contract. I don't know how to even understand it, but that would be my one where it hurts my heart a little bit sometimes.
In the last year, I've really heard, I guess, more deeply from women about, I don't know what the word is, but the fears, just in the day-to-day life. As a man, I'm not, if it's dark right now and I go to my car,
you're not even worried about it.
I'm not worried at all.
Oh, yeah. I
Right?
constantly thinking about it.
And that's so different. And then you multiply that every day, all day. And not to say that you're not safe at home and whatever else, and then all of the other different ways the female function, hormonal shifts and changes, and the massively different needs that the woman has also. There is this bond that we should, as men and women, should have. Testosterone is more prevalent here, and I have a natural tendency to want to protect and provide, and that's just a part of it. But then hearing you say that, it's so impactful in a way that, like you said, certainly as my ex-wife, I'll let her know, we might have to edit this out, but I don't think so. But she had trauma. I won't get any details. She had trauma, and so that is so deep. And
it affects relationships.
Oh my God. And it has to be deep because they're surviving. You go to the normal fabric of whether you're traumatized or not, you have a different protection mechanism already. And then add on top of it any vulnerabilities in the society where you've now been exploited in that way. And then it just expands and proliferates in so many different ways. And then you add on top of it the symptomology of our society of all of the human trafficking, all of from the sexual exploitation to fucking
who knows
organ donations. Like, it's like you can't even get your head around all of that stuff.
No, I really can't.
Like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And to our point, we can't even understand that people are lying. And then, you know what I'm saying?
And I can't even hardly go there, but yet I'm working on people that are dealing with it.
Yeah.
I'm like but I do want to put a voice out because I think that whatever the contract is, it's interesting. I want to put a voice out to any men that are listening. If you're a man because I think about my father, I've always had, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish my dad did this and this. But I'm like, dang, he was a good dad because he protected me. He was very strict with me, but I have never dealt with any of this. And I think it was because I was inside my house by 9 or 10 p.m. every day. Right. Like, he was very hard on me and very protective, but I don't carry that in my body. And I'm like, wow, I'm really so grateful for my father because of that, because I really think it could have been something different had I been maybe not had him as a father. And I want to just say to all the men, if you have protected women and you maybe even experienced something, but you haven't passed it down and haven't hurt women and you've protected, thank you, because that should be celebrated. Because if this is happening on such a large scale of 1 to 2 out of 4, then the men and the women who are not doing this or repeating this, please take a minute, like, celebrate that and honor that in you. And if you have done it, get the healing work so it doesn't keep repeating itself, because also don't have shame, because obviously there's a large number, and get the healing work you need to move on so that you don't carry this down the line any further.
What do you see certainly in the health space, women are just more open to receiving information and applying it, and which is why I love, if you want to change the household, you inform the mom, because they're the strength.
I always say women are the most untapped resource humanity
Oh my
has.
God. Seriously.
I really think so.
Seriously. And I don't even know how you start with men.
I think it starts with the women right
Yeah.
now, and women need to not be pushing the men down and like thinking that we need to be declaring our rights and men have done this. And I'm like, oh no, because that's not going to help anything. In my mind, it's like, you rise up, you take remembrance and self-love for yourself as a woman and do your healing work. You don't need to demand it of him, and you don't need to fight him for what you feel are your injustices, because with that, the man will always come, in my opinion. I believe the man will always look to the woman, and if she's in love and she's in care, he will just rise up naturally. I believe that.
We go back to, I think, a frequency that way. Like we talk about that harmonic or the sympathetic frequency. So if you're vibrating at a certain level, whatever crystalline vibration can actually up level them. So it's like that and it goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
So if the man is providing that safety and that protection, then obviously the vulnerability of the woman can open. And if the woman loves and respects and honors that relationship to the man, like we're so goddamn simple.
That's what I believe, that. And the man will just rise up. He just will.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell him to rise up. You don't have to tell him to go get therapy or healing.
Jesus. We make a lot of things so complicated.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time in workshops, and obviously you're seeing these aspects in women. If there is a void that you're seeing and probably helping to fill that in as well, what do you think in our modern day world is the void that we're needing in order for us who want to create a different kind of utopia, a different expression, a higher
different frequency? We can go with those terms, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? So the question is like the void. What do you think?
Yes, let's just straight up, like you put a workshop out there, right? And you market it however you want. And then people come. I've done how many, right?
Yeah.
Individuals, groups. People are coming for a reason. You and other people. Yeah. People know that they're not fulfilled. They're not having fun. They're maybe overworked, overstressed. And I can obviously make the argument that we have lost who we truly are. But I'm saying, like, what do you see as those missing elements that you see when people actually get that space to heal that? Is it attention? Is it literally stopping? I guess what I'm asking is the sprinting of our modern world is just crazy. And we all even stopping to eat and just pausing and praying. But why do you think people show up? Why do you think people continue to come? What are they getting when they leave like a workshop like yours?
Yeah. I would say not only is this others, but this is deeply in me too. And this might sound cliche. This might sound like so simple, but I really believe this. Like, I've really sat here to really feel into this. I think people are searching for love. I think people, myself included, is like, how deep can I love myself? How deep can one love oneself? And understand the vastness of love. Like, we talk about these wars going on. Stuff that's really been medicine for me recently is like, there's all this stuff externally that we could look at and be like, I can't believe this is happening, and I can't believe the atrocities. And I'm like, we're at war inside ourselves daily, of the words we're speaking to ourselves, to where we don't feel like we're enough just because we exist and we have to do something or prove it and it's my deepest work within myself. I mean, I feel like it's my greatest contribution to the world. If I can love myself, and I don't know if I'll ever arrive fully, but it's something I want to look at all the time. Are my cells fighting with each other? Am I saying mean things to myself? And I feel like women, in particularly the groups that I'm putting together, I think that's what they're also searching. I want to feel love. And it's not that they think, oh, it'd be great to be loved and to be seen by this group or by Danette. But ultimately, we all just want to be like, love ourselves so much, because I think that's the greatest frequency, the greatest power on the planet.
God, how do you say no to that? And it's our culture, and the adopted culture of that is not that. It's still who you are. What do you do? What success are you? It is still measured so differently.
Yeah. And I think that, people will come to me about relationship stuff, or they'll ask about my relationship, or they'll ask about health or whatever. And I'm like, when you focus on really loving yourself, you don't really have drama in your relationships. Like, I don't really deal with drama in my relationship. And it's not because, we have a great marriage or because we go to therapy I really think it's because we're both committed to loving ourselves, which takes away jealousy. It takes away, I have it with close friendships too, because I think my friends also really love themselves and are working on continuing to love themselves. And I feel like that's what I look for in people, like in my friendships, and what I look for in people that I want to have around me. I'm like, are you committed to your practice of loving yourself? Because it will change how you show up for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the work too. That's the real, because it's like you gotta. It's not all butterflies and roses.
To love yourself, no.
No, because you have to face whatever trauma you're gonna have it.
You have to face off with your shadows.
Yeah.
They're parts of you.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. It reminds me of one of the first times I ever had that concept. I was studying with this Toltec shaman that came from he studied with Carlos Castaneda and then Don Juan Matus, and Don Juan wrote a bunch of books. This guy was 87 years old, and he studied with Don Juan. So he was this ancient from Oaxaca, Mexico.
Whoa.
And so I got this chance he was in Malibu, through my good friend Lauren Monroe and Rick Allen. And so we all had our individual time with him. And he would find a movie that had these dark, evil characters, and he goes, "That's you. Be that." And he would have these ceremonies that I would sit alone in my room and watch these movies and embody the dark part, to start getting in touch with some happy little Minnesota guy that thinks, again, is naive, is unwilling to see the darkness. So if I'm unwilling to even acknowledge my pain and my darkness, I can't see it in others. And that was the first crack. Holy shit. Right?
Wow.
And then you have a chance to start healing those aspects because that darkness is also coming from pain.
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
It's just, and so that kind of work is not easy, and it just takes it's so easy to be distracted and just keep moving.
Why do you think you're that type of person? Why do you think you've always been a seeker of all this stuff?
I have no idea. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
But you've always been like this.
No, I know moments when it just spontaneously happened. I was a normal Minnesota kid. I was I wasn't a prodigy at 5. I was just a kid who was goofy and tried to have girls like me too. And then the moments in college, I think I woke up, I was drunk the night before, woke up, and then I'd see these aspects. That's not working. I don't feel good, but I want to do this, and I can't do this because of this. So then I'd have these kind of enlightening moments that would just pop in, and then a question would come in and say, can you just be what you think you need to be with alcohol and just eliminate the poison? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So I taught myself how to do.
Wow. So you would have conversations with yourself.
Yeah, but I can't tell you how it happened. It's like literally these little nuggets of light just popped in.
That's cool.
And I think along the way, pain, pop,
Exactly.
and then the more mature aspect of it is you realize that, oh, it's an ally. What if literally even the pain, everything literally was exactly the way it should be? Everything.
Wow.
Everything. And if I don't currently understand the extraction of it, I will.
Yeah.
I will. Because a good tea, the compounds of a tea come out in hot water.
Yep.
So back to remembering who we are, like the Taoists say, the perfect example of us as the true Tao of ourselves, the true Taoist of us is when we're newborn.
Yeah.
When we're born, we have no point of view, right? We're just, wow. And then we forget, and now it's our job to remember again.
Yep.
And have all these damn experiences along the way,
Exactly.
and try to swing for the fences a little bit. I think,
because you can.
Yeah, because why not?
Because why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's. I think what you're doing is, as soon as I met you the first time, I was like, she is definitely a sister.
Aw, thank you. I feel the same. Yeah.
And what you're committed to and what you're doing, and I think you hit it. If we lead with love. And it's literally, and you can measure it. We go back to frequency again. You absolutely can measure love.
Yep.
And we can measure the heart. And there's so much cool stuff. They can measure the sound of trees now.
Yes,
like
and
it's just
mushrooms. I love it. I love like hearing these sounds from these plants.
Yeah.
So cool.
It brings the invisible visible in a certain sense.
That's true. Totally.
Danette, thank you.
Thank you
I
for
love
having
and
me.
adore you, and I'm just a huge fan, and
Thank
keep
you.
kicking ass.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.